Well, if you want to understand how the medical system gets away with everything they get away with in America, you have to go back to 1914 when the Flexner report was published. This was paid for by the Rockefeller Institute and the Carnegie Institute to determine which medical schools were actually using the pharmaceuticals that both these organizations were producing and selling. And it turns out that, of course, the Rockefeller Institute and the Carnegie Institute gave grants to students to go to those institutions. There's 30 medical schools that use pharmaceuticals instead of herbs and nutrition and homeopathy, that kind of sort of non-destructive stuff. And they became, in 1914, a protective monopoly. I'm talking about the medical doctors now. Became a protective monopoly, self-policing, no oversight by any other agency. And we have a problem. Each year in America, medical doctors kill, injure, and infect 15 million of their customers. 15 million of their patients are killed, injured, and infected in their workplace. They don't even get an OSHA ticket. Each month, medical doctors in hospitals kill 15,000 seniors over the age of 65 that they send in there to do screening tests. And there's really nothing wrong with these people. That's 180,000 a year. And when you kind of break this down a little bit more, 2 million Americans are infected each year in hospitals alone, not practices and private offices, but just hospitals. 2 million are infected, which 90,000 are killed. 90,000 are killed from these infections each year. Now, what if Iran or North Korea were to send over intercontinental ballistic missiles and infect large population centers with biological weapons and kill 90,000 people and infect 2 million? We declare war on them, but doctors get a walk. And then they said, this is from the Department of Veterans Affairs, the Department of Veterans Affairs, they said, oh, medical doctors in the VA hospitals kill 700 veterans each year. They use the word kill. The Department of Veterans Affairs used the word kill. Medical doctors in the VA system kill 700 veterans each year in the VA hospitals and get a walk. And here it comes. Now, be ready for this. If you think this is all bad, it gets worse. Each year, there's a yearly figure. Medical doctors fraudulently bill their patients and their patients' insurance companies $750 billion with a B, $750 billion each year, at $750 billion. And what they do is they bill for things they didn't even do, and they bill for things that they did, but the patient didn't need. Now, why would they do that? Well, they don't have to get a loan. They don't have to get student loans for their kids. They don't have to refi their house to do something else. They just bill your insurance company fraudulently, and they get the money and get a walk. $750 billion a year, $750 billion, that's just about 1/3 of the American health budget is fraudulent billing to patients and the patients' private and also government insurance companies. Okay? That includes the Medicare, Medicaid, that includes the Affordable Health Care Act, and so on. So what I want you to do is get a hold of the book Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. Get a hold of the trilogy books, Let's Play Doctor, Let's Play Herbal Doctor, The Passport Aromatherapy, and learn how to do your own laboratory work. Learn how to do your own laboratory work. Learn to do your own blood test. Take your own blood pressure. Take your own pulse. Do your own urine test. Do your own equivalent to the colonoscopic exams. You don't have to have a doctor put a garden hose up your rump and puncture your intestines, and you're going to die as one of these 15,000 seniors every month, which are killed in the hospital. That's 180,000 people a year. I mean, come on. How many of you would go to any particular brand of fast food place if you knew that they killed 15,000 seniors every month? If you were a senior, you wouldn't go, would you? What about commercial airlines? How many of you would fly if you're over age 65 and you knew that commercial airlines killed 15,000 seniors every month? Nobody would fly if you're over age 65. And so it's incumbent upon us to take care of ourselves so we can avoid the medical system as much as possible. It looks like the government's not going to put them in jail. They're certainly not going to voluntarily walk into jail. They're not going to change their ways because they're having too much fun using an ATM machine, and they're able to kill, burn, rape, and pillage with impunity, and everybody gets a walk. I mean, remember all the craziness when Toyota had a bunch of people die because the accelerator got stuck because they were silly enough to leave that rubber mat under the accelerator. Even though people were complaining about it, people still didn't take that rubber mat out, from underneath the accelerator. They just, oh, well, it won't happen to me, right? It's just like everybody else. They say, Well, yeah, man, it's terrible. Those doctors doing this. Oh, I love my doctor. Bam, you're dead. And so you really have to take advantage of this information here in the trilogy books, Let's Play Doctor, Let's Be Herbal Doctor, and Passport Aromatherapy, and learn how to take care of yourself. Learn how to take care of the people you love. Okay? Doctors will treat you for diabetes for 25, 30, 40 years and make $750,000 with all the complications. And he would make $300 if he cured you. Now, you say, well, now come on, if there was a cure, the doctor would cure me. No, there's no law requiring a doctor to cure you. And so you do need to get a hold of that book, Epigenetics, and the trilogy books, Let's Play Doctor, Let's Be Herbal Doctor, the Passport Aromatherapy, and take care of the self and take care of everybody you love. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us today?
Well, I thought we'd talk about one that you've been talking about for a while. Now, this is a Fox News story headlined, Sea Cucumber, a Miracle Cancer Treatment. They say sea cucumber is an animal found on the ocean floor, been used by the Chinese in cuisine for years, even as an aphrodisiac. Say it's also been known to treat a wide variety of illnesses, including certain types of cancer. According to a guy by the name of Ty M. Bollinger, he's an author on a cancer book that he has out. He says they're not only antiviral, antibacterial, but sea cucumbers have been used to treat gingivitis and gum disease. He says it resembles a large spiky caterpillar and is used as an adjunct treatment for those undergoing chemotherapy because it's very effective at mitigating the side effects. Chemotherapy is an immunosuppressive set of drugs that it kills cancer cells, but in the meantime kills your immune system. They say properties in sea cucumber make the immune system run at a perfect speed. Sea cucumber is a cytotoxic, meaning it kills cancer cells. Sea cucumber is long been used in traditional Chinese medicine, not well known in the Western medicine, and even though it's been being studied for the last 15 years, most doctors aren't familiar with sea cucumber. And according to this Bollinger guy, says, I'm not aware of any medical schools that has courses teaching them on sea cucumbers as a point. At this point, sea cucumber can be cooked and eaten or dried and made into a powder that you can put in capsules and take it in that form. One of the most fascinating things about sea cucumber also is it's very high in chondroitin sulfate to treat joint pain and arthritis. Has the highest concentration of chondroitin sulfate in any animal. So there you go, the mainstream medicine missing the boat here, and something that you've been dealing with for a number of years. I don't think I've ever actually eaten sea cucumber, but I know we have some products in longevity that have some sea cucumber in it.
Yes, primarily the Ocean's Gold, and I like to use it for supporting people's immune system, and as the article said, to mitigate or reduce the symptoms from radiation and chemotherapy, that kind of stuff. But also, it supports the immune system, excuse me, and has some direct cytotoxic effects on cancer cells. And so it's a great, great product to use for people that have cancer. Ocean's Gold, and I like to use that, of course, with the 90 essential nutrients, Z-Radical with the fucoidan in it, and, of course, selenium. That's one of my lawsuits against the FDA and federal court, where I was able to win one of my 8 lawsuits. Was able to say that you can supplement with selenium at 200 micrograms a day, which is 1/5 of a milligram, and reduce the risk of and rate of many different types of cancer. But then you throw in the Ocean's Gold, and I take 3 of those Ocean's Gold twice a day just for prevention. Okay, I take it for prevention. And, of course, again, in a couple of months, I'm turning 76 and don't have any joint pain, don't have any problems of any kind health-wise. And it's one of those things where if you're obsessive about this, I have people who've been with me, Doug, and you've been with me for what now? How many years?
I've been here since 1998.
Okay, so you're looking at 17 years.
Yep.
Yep. And I've had people who've been with me for 20, 25, 30 years doing these things. And they're perfectly healthy. None of them have ever been sick. None of them have any problems. None of them have ever been on any of the prescription drugs. And this isn't genetic. Everybody can do these things. And, I mean, you've been doing it very well on our program. And I can't thank you enough for all the great things you do. And for our listeners, particularly bringing up all these sort of wild things that appear on the Internet. Thank you very much. And we'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to San Diego, California. And Denise, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Denise, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How can I help you?
I have an issue. Actually, one of my people. Can you hear me?
I missed you there. It sounded like you turned away from the phone or something.
Okay, I'm on my cell phone. I have one of my customers. I'm a recent distributor out in San Diego, California. And one of my customers is having extreme fatigue, and she's also having a rash and itching in her underarm and groin area. She is on the 90 for Life supplement. She's been on it since the end of September. And my upline and I decided that it would be best for me to call you and see if there was something that you could recommend in addition to her 90 for Life supplement that she could take.
Okay, now tell me a couple of things here. Do you know if she's had this rash in her groin area and under her arms when she was a child or a teenager, or is this just recent?
It's just recent. And as a matter of fact, she said that she had traveled back east and she had, I guess she had some clothes dry cleaned. And when she put the clothes on, that she noticed that a chemical smell. And I think that irritated her. Mm-hmm. And then she said that she went to the doctor and they gave her this cream. And the cream doesn't seem to work. It seems like it just this rash keeps coming back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you know if she had any respiratory problems as a kid, chronic bronchitis or asthma?
No, she hasn't. I asked her that if she had any kind of health issues, and she said no. Okay. Do you know if she had any children with health issues? She has a son, and the son has asthma. Okay, well,
not bad. Yeah, well, she's got a gluten intolerance, and she passed it on to her son. Asthma will appear in one. Skin problems appear in others. Bowel problems appear in others, but it's all the same problem. So she's got a gluten intolerance. Now, is she taking the original Beyond Tangerine in the original Healthy Start Pack, or is she taking the 2.0?
She's taking the 2.0.
Okay, good. Now, what you want to do is kind of double-check her household and make sure she's gluten-free. This would include the dog and the cat and the bird and the fish and spouse and mother-in-law and kids and anybody else living in the house, even the ladies who might come to clean her house or something. Everybody's got to be gluten-free because of cross-contamination in the laundry, cross-contamination of food preparation services and so forth. And so that's kind of where I would look. But she does have a gluten intolerance if her son has asthma. So this is something that she needs to pass on to her son, let him know that he's got to be drop dead gluten-free. If he takes the 90 cents nutrients, the malabsorption he's having actually contributes to the asthma. Okay, but he can't absorb the nutrients necessary to prevent the asthma. Give me a call every couple of weeks. We'll be back after these messages.
Let's head to Montana. And Josh, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Josh. You're on the air.
Hi, Wallach. How are you doing?
Okay, sir. How can I help you?
I got a eight-month-old that has cystic fibrosis.
Okay.
And I talked to you about a month ago, and you told him I should give him a selenium, a half in the morning and half at night. And I give him a half ounce of plant steroid minerals and EFA plus 1 a day. And lately he's developed a cold. He's got a stuffy nose, and when he coughs, it hurts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how much does he weigh now?
17 pounds.
Okay. All right. I'm going to continue doing that sort of nutritional approach, but make sure that everybody in the household, including yourself and the mama and any other brothers and sisters, dogs, cats, birds, things, are actually gluten-free. Now, do you work with livestock? You kind of sound like an Amish guy to me.
A Hutterite. You know what Hutterites are?
Sure. I work a lot with Hutterites, yep. Okay.
Yeah, I work in a block plant.
I'm sorry, you work in what kind of plant?
block pavers. It's a concrete plant.
Oh, concrete. Okay. So you don't work with dairy cattle or anything like that?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah. It's imperative that there's no wheat, barley, rye, or oats in the house. Nobody can be eating oatmeal for breakfast. Nobody can be eating bread. There can't be any of that stuff in the house. I mean, you can eat gluten-free bread. Now, we actually have Valerie's gluten-free cookbook. Where you can go to any grocery store and get the gluten-free breads and crackers and all that kind of stuff. There's gluten-free cereals, which are made out of rice and millet and buckwheat, which is not wheat. But, I mean, everybody in the house has got to be gluten-free. Now, what you can do to help with his cough, of course, you can put a couple of drops of colloidal silver in maybe half a teaspoon of water, and you can have him sip on that or put it in his formula. Or if the mother is breastfeeding him, she cannot be eating any gluten, right? She has to stay away. I mean, particularly if she's breastfeeding him, she cannot even read the word gluten. She cannot cook it. She can't be eating it because it comes through the breast milk. Okay? And but anyway, the colloidal silver will help keep the load of viruses and bacteria and fungus and yeast down. But also, I would take a couple of drops of our eucalyptus globulus, just a couple of drops in like a shallow dish full of some water, and put that near him, not where he can touch it or anything like that, but where the aroma can get up to where he can smell that, and that's going to kind of help him open up the nasal passages and bronchi and so forth. It wouldn't hurt to give him 2 of those EFAs a day, okay, as opposed to 1, so he can get more omega-3s into him, and that'll help his lungs make more of the hormones to dilate the bronchi, get more air in, more air out, and stop a lot of that swelling. But give me a call. But everybody, boy, particularly the mom, if she's breastfeeding him, Josh, she needs to definitely not be eating any gluten. Everything she eats must be gluten-free. She can't cook it for anybody else, okay? Give me a call every couple of weeks. Let me know how that little boy is doing. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages.
Let's head to Illinois. And Bella, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Bella, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Walsh. How are you?
Very fine. How can I help you?
I have 2 daughters that have scoliosis. One is 11 and the other one's 13. The 13-year-old has it severely bad that they want to operate her in March 3rd. And we've been with you with the vitamins for about a month now, and you told us to call back and see how they were doing.
Okay. And give me the weights of the 2 daughters.
One is like 80 pounds. The other one's around 100.
Okay, so both around 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. And do they have any other issues? Do they have any skin issues, eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, or asthma, bronchitis, constipation, diarrhea, anything like that?
Actually, after the vitamins, they got a little constipated. They take a long time in the bathroom. Just the 13-year-old, not the 11-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but prior to taking...
The 11-year-old's they've both been taking it for a month now. The 11-year-old is actually, she's fine. She doesn't feel anything. But my 13-year-old, her knees hurt a lot. Her head's been hurting a lot after a month of taking the pills and, the vitamins. And she just says that her vision's not the same anymore.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are they taking the original Beyonce Tangerine with the blue top, or are they taking the 2.0 with the orange top?
The orange top, the 2.0.
Okay, good. All right. Basically, what I would do is maybe cut it back in half and see if that doesn't help. Cut everything in half of what they're getting. But in 100 pounds, by their body weight, they should be getting 1 healthy bone and joint pack per month each, and then a half a dose twice a day. So what I would do is cut it down to a half a dose a day for the one that's having knee pain, joint pain, and make sure that they're gluten-free. Make sure that they're absorbing. So it's very important that they're gluten-free. Must absolutely have no gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats. A lot of times they're supplementing, and they can't absorb it, and they're not getting the value of what they're supplementing. That old adage, you are what you eat, is not true. You are what you absorb. There's a big difference. And so that's where I would go, is cut the dose in half, and also make sure that everybody in the household, including the dog and the cat and the bird and the fish and mom and dad and grandma and anybody else in the house, Mary maids come to the house to clean, they've got to be warned. They've got to be drop-dead gluten-free, no gluten in the house, including the dog and the cat and the bird and the fish. Want to maximize absorption. The fact that one isn't complaining, the other one is, it's not unusual. One might have bowel problems, the other one has respiratory problems, and if you had a third kid, they might have respiratory problems and so on. It's kind of interesting how in the same family, there's different manifestations of gluten intolerance in each of the different individuals in the family. At any rate, it's a little bit of a detective work on your part to do some of this figuring out. Then call me back in 2 weeks. But the one that's not having any problems, I would just continue giving them the full dose. And the one that's having the problems, try cutting it back to a half a dose. But make sure they're drop-dead gluten-free, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, and no gluten. Okay, now, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Washington, D.C., and Daryl, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Daryl, you're on the air.
All right, how you doing? I just recently joined the company after seeing you down here in Maryland. I've been vegan for like the last 3 years, but since listening to you, I was trying to stick around. I have a little 8-year-old. I'm 62, and I have a little 8-year-old adopted daughter. I was trying to live to be 100, and I was doing it, trying to, through being vegan. But since I've talked with you, I've got your opinion on that. And currently, I have a prostate issue, and my little 8-year has been diagnosed with ADHD, and I'm trying to wean her off her medicine.
Sure. Okay. How much does the 8-year-old weigh, you think?
I'd say about 50, 55.
Okay. All right. And how much you weigh, sir?
I weigh only 160.
Okay. Well, 160, a guy your age, I'd go ahead and take 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month. That'll be 3 of our Ultimate Selenium at breakfast and dinner, 1 ounce of the Osteo FX Plus at breakfast and dinner. It would be 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 NutriCrystals at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Pluses at breakfast and dinner, and 3 of the EFAs at breakfast and dinner. All would be accomplished by the 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month. And then I would throw in the Prost FX, get a hold of 2 bottles a month of the Prost FX. It's a blend of herbs from Africa, Asia, and North America, and they're designed to support and promote healthy prostate function, healthy prostate size, healthy prostate, as I said, function, and so forth. And so that should give you what you need to, again, support and promote healthy prostate function on your part, because you're going to get the selenium also from the 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month. None of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten. And because you have an ADHD kid in the house, there can't be any sugar in the house. No dried fruit, no fresh fruit, no fruit juices, no soft drinks, nothing that has sugar in it. You can get everything you need. This child can get everything they need from vegetables that they might need from fruit, but without the risk of sugar. And so no fruit juices in the house, lots of vegetables. The child needs eggs, scrambled eggs and butter before she goes to bed, scrambled eggs and butter for breakfast, and some steamed vegetables for breakfast, some melted butter on it. Kind of go that direction, and make sure that, again, the carbohydrates and sugars are almost zero. But lots of eggs, animal protein at every meal. She can have beef and chicken and fish. They cannot be fried. They cannot be, again, the processed ones, because not only do they have nitrates and nitrites, but they have a lot of sugar in them. That's why they taste so good and they're so attractive to people. They have lots of sugar in them. And also the sausage ones like pastrami and pepperoni and salami and bologna, that kind of stuff. Vienna sausages, they use wheat flour as a filler. They use wheat flour as a filler and thickener and gravies and meatloaf and meatballs and the stuff. So you got to really, really understand. In fact, I was at a bed and breakfast this morning, and they opened up a can of soup for one of the people there who is sensitive to gluten. I said, whoa, before you eat that tomato soup out of a can, we better read the label. Sure enough, the third ingredient on the label is wheat flour to thicken the tomato soup. And so you got to get rid of all that stuff. And then for snacks, hard-boiled eggs, gluten-free nuts. You got to read labels, because they package nuts that claim to be gluten-free on the front of the label. On the back of the label, under the allergy information, it says these nuts are packaged on machinery that also packages wheat products. And the dust in the bag can be contaminated with wheat flour. So you got to really read stuff, make sure that she's staying away from all that stuff. Give me a call every couple of weeks. Let me know how you're doing, Daryl. Let me know how this child is doing. Okay, Doug, we have time to start another one?
No, we're just about at break time.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and remind everybody, I want to get my new book, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, and learn how to prevent and even eliminate many of these diseases that are said to be genetically transmitted by doctors. Remember, there's thousands of failed medical theories every century. The 20th century and the 21st century are no different. Get a hold of the book, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, and save your family from unnecessary medical care. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Youngevity 95 Crusade. And Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Missouri. And Debbie, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
So, Debbie, you're on the air.
Dr. Wallach, thank you for all that you do. I have learned so much from you. I appreciate it.
Very kind. Very kind. How can I help you today?
I think the tangerine is causing me to have diarrhea, very loose stools. I went off of it for a while, and I was still having the loose stools. I put it in a huge pitcher and sipped on it all day, still had loose stools.
Okay. Now, of course, let me back up here a minute. Are you taking the original blue cap, or are you taking the 2.0?
It's a 2.0.
Okay.
It's orange.
Mm-hmm. I understand. What else are you taking besides the tangerine?
I take Cal Toddy, the Ultimate Dailies, the enzymes, the selenium, the sweeties.
Okay.
I think that's it, yeah.
Okay. Now,
the EFAs, the essential fatty acids.
Okay. Sounds like a good program. Did you ever have any history when you were a young woman or a teenager as a child of asthma, bronchitis, skin problems, constipation, diarrhea, anything like that?
No, I had sinus problems, but...
Okay, do you have children?
I have 5 children, yeah.
Okay. Did any of them have health problems as kids?
No, they didn't have asthma or skin problems. They could have been constipated once in a while.
Sure. Now, any of them colicky babies?
No colicky babies, huh?
Okay, you breastfeed your children?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. All right, let's try something here. Try going for 30 days gluten-free.
Oh, I am gluten-free. I'm the 10 foods free. I can't even put any of that stuff in my mouth.
Okay, because what happens if you put it in your mouth?
I feel guilty.
Oh, okay.
Because I've listened to you probably about 100 hours, and you pounded into my head, and I feel I can't even pick up anything that has gluten in it or any of the 10 bad foods. I feel horribly guilty.
Okay, well, that's good, because you're going to add many healthy years to your life, and you want to pass that information on to your kids, too. But
I've tried.
Okay. But at any rate, basically, what I would do is try something different here. For 1 month, when you order, instead of ordering, apparently, you're getting the Healthy Start Pack 2.0, 1 month, get the Cal Toddy, get the EFAs, or EFA Pluses, whichever one you're using, and whatever else you're taking, but get the Ultimate Classic liquid, the original, which is our original liquid multiple. And go ahead and try taking 1 ounce of that per 100 pounds of body weight. What do you weigh?
200 pounds, 5'5". I'm going to be 60 on Saturday.
Oh, congratulations. Okay, so, yeah, what I would do is order 2 of the quarts of the Ultimate Classic and take 1 ounce at breakfast, 1 ounce at dinner. And, it might take a couple of days to a week to flush all the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 out of your system. And let's see if by changing your source of multiples that, there's 245 different substances in the 2.0, and then including 115 berries, fruits, and vegetables. And it's possible that of these 245 things, you may be sensitive to one of them or 3 of them. And so let's see if you go with the Ultimate Classic, there is none of the 115 fruits, berries, and vegetables in there, and that's going to let us look at that possibility. Okay, and then call me in 2 weeks. Let me know if that doesn't change what you're doing. It wouldn't hurt to consider using the ASAP and lose a little bit of weight. I'd like to see it 145 to 160 to 200 at your height. Thank you, everybody. Really a great show today. Thank you. I know Shar had to drop off quick. We have a big event coming on here. Thank you so much to Doug and Richard. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.